Hi friends, Mrs. Scott just read you a fabulous book, and in the book there was an igloo. So today we are going to make an igloo. So there's a few different ways you can do this. You can use small Lego blocks. You could use the medium size, I think they're called Duplos, or you could use the big size Mega Blocks and you want to make a big picture. I have just regular blocks that I found in my house. You need white paint, scissors, and I'm using blue paper. So parents, the first thing I'd like you to do is draw the igloo shape. If you want to draw it and have your child trace it, that would be fabulous. Or you can draw it on a separate piece of paper and see if they can copy it. And then I'd like them to cut out the picture. So to do that, we're going to hold our scissors, and I'm going to remind you, thumb on top in the small hole. And we're holding our paper, our thumb is on top also. We're going to open the alligator mouth wide and close slowly. He's super hungry, so he needs a wide mouth. Make sure you stop at your line. Then turn the paper wide. He's hungry. Make sure you feed him enough. And what you're going to do is have them emphasize turning their hand. So it's going to look a little awkward, like they're turning the whole arm, and that's okay. That's the starting point. So just have them do the best that they can. Remind them to move their holding hand as they move their scissors. And this should really be a nice, slow part of the activity. So I have an igloo shape. So the next thing you're going to do is squirt your white paint into whatever you're using, whether it's a paper plate or if you have paint palettes. If you are comfortable with it, I would love for them to squeeze the paint out and use their dominant hand, so whichever hand they tend to write with or cut with. For most of my friends, it is their right hand. I have a few lefties though. I want them to squeeze because I want them to realize the squeeze and stop motion, but also it'll help them with their hand strength. Little things like squeezing glue and squeezing containers to pour them out helps with that finger strength. So I would also love, which is why I'm on the floor here, if you have a space you can do this, I understand not everybody does, you can let them go on their elbows. PT would call this tummy time. Works on core strength, but it also works on shoulder stability and arm strength. And in OT, we say you have to have strength here before you can have strength here. So everything has to build. So we want them to have good shoulder strength and arm strength. Plus, the balancing and moving from side to side is great for core work. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your block and put it into the white paint and then put it on the igloo. And you can make them close or far apart, however you would like. Now they might get tired doing it like this, and that's okay if they need to stop, take a break, sit at the table. Or you could suggest switching hands. So now I'm going to use my other hand to do this. So just take your time. This is supposed to be a fun activity. You can use all different types of materials. You can use different material instead of paint. You can make patterns with your blocks. You can do however you want. You could try making puffy paint. You could try using shaving cream. However you want to decorate your igloo. You can try making patterns. Can you overlap the blocks instead of just stacking them on top of each other so that the block goes in the middle of the others? Do you want to try different colors? Do you want to leave spaces? You can make your igloo however you want. That is the great part of this activity. As you can see, it's going to look really cool when we're done. So I'm going to keep going with mine. And if you're doing this on the floor, I recommend having something underneath so that if they do get paint somewhere, it's not a big deal. But you could make a whole city. Also try and work on keeping their blocks in a row. If they're doing rows like I am, keep their blocks in a straight line. When they're doing this, work on their pincher grasp and their other fingers tucked into their palm, not spread out. If you need to, you could tuck something in for them to hold. A pom-pom or a cotton ball is the perfect item. You could also use a coin. I need to put a piece of paper under so I can finish mine on the edge. And there you have a super fun igloo. You could also make penguins or a family to go with your igloo. You can glue it on another piece of paper. There's all different things you can do. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and I really hope you get to go outside and maybe even build your own igloo in the snow. Bye guys, see you when we go back to school.